Alright everyone, welcome back. Sakura is silent. Considering Sakura, she must not be able to lie to Shinji if I take her home even part of the way.
それじゃあ
私が送っていこっか。
A tiger-striped English teacher appears.
ダメだよ。そんなの本末転倒じゃないか。女の子が夜出歩くから危ないっていうのに、さらに女の子を増やして。
No. It's a mistake to call Fujine a girl. For starters, she doesn't head the archery club for nothing. Her 5th Dan Kendo skills are dangerous in many ways.
藤根なら大丈夫か。痴漢が出ても撃退できるだろうし。
できるよ。だからさくらちゃんを送っていくのも問題なし。それでいい？さくらちゃん。はい。藤村先生がよろしいのでしたら。決まりだね。それじゃあ行こっか。私も今日はそろそろ帰ろうかなって思ってたんだ。
Fujine starts to walk off, taking Sakura's hand.
ちょっと待った、さくら。
何ですか、先輩。
晩飯うまかったよ。いつもありがとな。はい。
ご迷惑でなかったら次も頑張りますね、先輩。
Saying so with a big smile, Sakura leaves the living room. I know I'm blushing. It's troublesome as Sakura surprises me a lot these days. Time flies. She was just a junior before. Now she's a female junior to me. How pitiful of me. Sakura's like family to me, so I can't accept this change. And so the day ends. Just before midnight, Emiya Shirou must carry out his daily routine of using magic. I stretch out and adjust my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and pay attention only to what is inside me.
トレス。Oh.
As if to hypnotize myself, I murmur the spell I'm long accustomed to. No, I really am hypnotizing myself. As I have no magic crest and no knowledge of magic, a spell is only a change to myself. Normally, there are no lines in a human body to allow the passage of magical energy. To artificially change my body to create such a line, I need enough concentration to unify my whole body and every nerve within it. Magic is a battle with yourself. For instance, at this very moment, I am inserting a burning steel rod into my backbone. This metal rod is the only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. When I insert it this deep into my body and connect it to the other nerves, I can finally become a magus. This is not a metaphor. In reality, something like a burning tongue which cannot be seen or felt is being inserted into my backbone.
僕は魔法使いなんだ。
Emiya Kiritsugu, the man who said so, was really a magus. A living magus who performed many marvels and had touched the very structure of the world. As a young child, I admired him and asked him to teach me magic. But you cannot become a magus just through effort. It requires born talent and appropriate knowledge. And of course, I have no talent, and Kiritsugi taught me nothing of magic. He said something about me having no need of such knowledge. I still don't know what he meant by that. But still, it didn't matter to me back then. I thought that if I could use magic, I could be like him. But I was not born with talent, nor strength of magic circuit, no accumulated works of magic handed down for generations. The work of magic Kiritsugi possessed, the magic crest passed down the Emiya family, can only be passed on to a blood relation. The magic crest forces a rejection on those with no blood relation. So, as an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's magic crest. Well, anyways, as I don't even know what a magic crest is, it doesn't matter if I have one or not. So now all it comes down to is training what I can do. If I want to be a magus, I have to learn magic fit to my nature. To be blunt, magic is a way to release one's magical energy. You could say that magical energy is my life source. It is divided into two forms, a large source, mana, floating around the world, and a small source, odd, created inside oneself. It goes without saying that the large source is superior to the small one. The power of mana is on a completely different level from odd. Whatever the form of magic, a spell using the large source far exceeds one using only one's own power. That is why superior magic excel at drawing magical energy from the world. It's like a filter. A magus turns his body into a filter, sucks up the mana from the world around him, and changes it into something he can use. This filter is what we call magic circuit. This is the talent one is born with, and the number of magic circuits within you is determined the moment you are born. Normally, human beings do not have magic circuits. To begin with, there are always very few. That is why magic piled them up generation after generation, making their children more suitable to use magic. I hear some families go too far and increase the number of magic circuits by selective breathing. Well, since I was raised in a normal family, I don't have many magic circuits. So that leaves only one method open to me. According to Kiritsugu, every person has at least one form of magic they are fit for. He said something about drawing out magical energy appropriate to their origin, but I didn't really understand. All I know for sure is that even I have some magic I can use, and if I train that magic, I may be able to become like Kiritsugu. That is why I learned only that magic. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kiritsugu finally accepted me as a student.
いいかいシロウ、魔術を習うということは常識からかけ離れるということだ。死ぬ時は死に、殺す時は殺す。僕たちの本質は生ではなく死だからね。魔術とは自らを滅ぼす道に他ならない。
I guess I had no fear as a child. Kiritsugu smiled bitterly, putting his hand on the nodding Emiya Shirou.
君に教えるのはそういった争いを呼ぶ類のものだ。だから人前で使ってはいけないし、難しいものだから鍛錬を怠ってもいけない。でもまあそれは破ったって構わない。一番大事なことはね、魔術は自分のためじゃなくて他人のためだけに使うということだよ。そうすればシロウは魔術使いではあるけど魔術師ではなくなるからね。
I guess Kiritsugu didn't want me to become a magus. I don't care about that. I don't admire a magus. I admire Kiritsugu. If I can become like Kiritsugu and be there for someone like on that red day, that would be... I'm thinking needlessly. I feel the iron rod in my backbone slide into place. If I lose control of my breathing now, it would be a fatal mistake. The artificial magic circuit will eat away at my body and destroy it. If that happens, I'll die. I would be only an amateur failing such an elementary step. I grind my teeth and resume the connection. After a battle like walking on needles, the iron rod finally arrives deep within me and fuses with my body. This process took me about an hour. After that much time, I'm finally able to make one artificial circuit. One circuit that produces magical energy.
基本可視解明
After that, it becomes a process of naturally flowing magical energy. And Miyashiro is no magus. He is only a magic user who can create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. So there's only one magic possible, which is
構成材質解明
strengthening objects. It is a magic of strengthening that reinforces the object's abilities by understanding the object's structure and channeling magical energy into it.
基本可視変更
Before me is a metal pipe. I will channel magical energy into it, perform the simplest magic, and reinforce its durability. Basically, channeling your magical energy into something other than yourself is like pouring poison into that object. It is just as the blood of Emiyashiro is not the blood of the metal pipe. Pumping different blood only accelerates its breakdown. It certainly wouldn't strengthen it. To prevent that and to turn the poison into a tonic, one must completely understand the structure of the target and channel the magical energy into small open spaces.
構成材質補強
It must be easy for a skilled magus, but for me, who cannot even create sufficient magical energy, it's as hard as hitting a target hundreds of meters away. The usual target is in archery is 28 meters away. How much harder is it at many times that distance goes without saying? The heat in my body quickly escapes. The burning pillar in my backbone disappears and the lungs stretch to the limit demand air. I arc my back to hold off a daze, almost making me pass out.
くそまた失敗か
There's no change in the metal pipe. It seems that the magical energy I poured into it has evaporated to thin air.
元から形があるものに手を加えるのはきつい
The thing I'm attempting is like adding something to an already complete work of art. Adding to a complete object risks making it less perfect. Adding unnecessary things will actually decrease the value. That's why the magic of strengthening is simple yet difficult, and only a few magi use it willingly. It's not like I use it willingly either, but it can't be helped as this is the only thing I'm good at. It would be much easier if I could just form something out of clay and use it instead, but a substitute in appearance doesn't have the internal structure to match. The junk around here is a good example. When I fail with strengthening magic, I make some substitute objects to practice and to calm down, but they all end up with nothing inside. I can visualize something structured easily so I can make the outside look like the original, but it's empty inside and of course, it doesn't do anything. I wipe the sweat off my brow. Now that I think about it, I realize my whole body is sweating, like I've been drenched with a bucket of water. But I'm lucky it just ended like this. That was really bad. If I had taken a second longer to recover myself, I would probably have destroyed most of my body.
死にかけた分上達するならまだ見込みがあるんだけどな
It's not even that easy. But it is true that you won't improve your magic if you're scared of death. As long as you study magic, death is always right beside you. Even a simple magic repeated every day can go off with a simple mistake, taking the caster's life.
魔術師にとって一番初めの覚悟とは死を容認することだ
Kiritsugu said so sadly. Maybe he meant that he didn't want me to take such a step.
誰かを助けるということは誰かを助けないということ
Kiritsugu said that to me when I told him I wanted to be just like him. I still don't know what he meant. But Emiya Shirou has to become a superhero who goes around saving people, just like Emiya Kiritsugu.
その割にこんな処方がうまくいかないんだもんななんでいざって時に雑念が入るんだバカ
It's not enough to understand the structure of an object with mere vision. A skilled magus only detects what's important and channels magical energy without waste. My dream is to become a superhero. I remember what Fujine said during dinner. I don't think it's embarrassing nor impossible. It's already determined. Emiya Shirou will succeed Emiya Kiritsugu. That's why even though I'm inexperienced, I've done everything I can. I don't know what kind of person a superhero should be, so I can only approach it by helping others within the limits of my abilities. I've aimed straight for that goal for the past 5 years, but when things just go wrong like this, I do have doubts.
もう点でわからないよ親父一体さ何をすれば正義の味方になれるんだ
I look up at the sky through the window. It's not like I can just randomly do good deeds. I think being a superhero is different from just helping others. I know that, but the question is, how can I become one? The difference between the two is the thing I've failed to understand for the past 5 years. February 1st, day 2. My awakening is dark. Perhaps I just don't dream much, but unless something really special happens, I always seem to have the same dream. What I imagine are swords. I don't know why it is, but this is the only thing that comes into my mind. There's no meaning or reason to it. It may just be one of the aspects making up Emiya Shirou. There are no dreams to dream. The only things I recall from sleep are things I was taught a long time ago. For example, about magi. Even if I'm an amateur, if I'm a magus, it's only natural for me to understand the kind of world I live in. Frankly speaking, a magus is an exception who deviates from modern society. But even exceptions must band together to survive. Father told me that the group of magi is called the Magic Association. He also said that I shouldn't associate with them. The Magic Association hides magic and organizes magi. They basically keep watch to see that magi do not affect society with magic, but the strange part is that they do not prohibit misuse of magic. According to Kiritsugu, the Magic Association is only interested in the concealment of magic. Even if a magus carries out his research at the expense of the lives of many ordinary people, the Magic Association will not punish him. Their priority is that magic should not become public, so they do not ban magic. So they're crazy people who think you can do anything as long as you don't get caught. Anyway, the surveillance of the Magic Association is thorough. Most magical research would cost the lives of ordinary people, and as a result, the existence of magic would become public. So the association does not allow research that would harm society. So magi stay at home and research quietly, while the normal would carry on unmolested. Hence, magi only try to hide themselves to escape the association. So perhaps I just don't know it, and a magus lives in this town. I hear Fuyuki City is a spiritually excellent area. Such an area always has distinguished magus with a history. They are called the second owner, an elite, and the association trusts the area to them. Magi who would live in the area must visit them and obtain their permission to construct a workshop. Looking at it like that, we're thieves living here without the permission of the landlord. Father was an outlaw who cut his ties with the association and moved here without the consent of the administrator, Fuyuki. The owner doesn't know that Emiya Kiritsugu was a magus, and Kiritsugu didn't know who the owner was. With reasoning like that, I think our position is ambiguous. Father, the real magus, has passed away, and I, his son and pupil, don't know the Magic Association and have not the skill to be a magus. From the association's point of view, they would want to catch an amateur like me doing things, but I've seen no movement yet. No, I've heard that Japan is relatively hidden from the eyes of the association, so I think I've just not been found out. But that doesn't mean I can't let my guard down. People say that the eyes of the association are everywhere. On top of that, if you commit a crime with magic, the heretic hunters of the church will come after you. That just means that whatever you use magic for, lack of care will create enemies. I, Emiya Shirou, just have to study independently, taking that into account. I wake up to see the sun shining in through the window. The sun may have just risen, as it's still dark. It's a bit dark outside.
寒い。さすがに朝は辛いな。
I get up trying not to be defeated by the morning chill and quickly fold out my futon. It's 5:30. One of my strengths is waking up at this time no matter how late I go to sleep. I do sometimes make mistakes and wake up late like yesterday, but I usually wake up early.
それじゃ朝飯と。
Since I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, I have to return the favor this morning. I should finish up preparing before Sakura arrives. I cook rice and make some miso soup. It was radish and carrot yesterday, so I make onion and potato miso soup today. I also make the usual broth, egg, and broth boil, and I'm done. I cut and salt the sori and stop just before cooking it.
よし、こんなんでいいか。
It's almost 6 o'clock. I finished earlier than expected, so I have some extra time. So what should I do?
そうだな。これだけ時間があれば一汗流せるか。
The morning exercises are my daily routine, so I'll go and move my body a bit. The Emiya household has a splendid dojo. It was built for pleasure when the house was built, so there's no particular purpose to it.
ま、藤姉が好き勝手使ってるけどな。
I hear that this place was Fujine's playground even before I came here. But I became Kiritsugu's student and started using this place a lot, so Fujine hated me back then.
さて。
There's only one thing to do now that I'm here. Even a magus cannot neglect to train their body. One of the requirements for a magus is to have an excellent physical abilities. While Kiritsugu was alive, we had many matches here. Well, it was pretty much him beating on me, so I didn't learn anything about how to win in a fight. But I think I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I was taught the difference between killing your opponent and beating your opponent. Knowledge and experience are different. Unless I know in advance, it's hard to tell whether I'm involved in a fight or a murder. It's a simple story. As long as you learn magic, you might destroy yourself and times will come when you have to fight. For a magi, a fight means killing each other. So I think what Kiritsugu wanted to teach me was to prepare my mind for the prospect of death. But it's been a while since my teacher passed away. On my own, all I can do are simple exercises. Things like push-ups, sit-ups, and stretching. Not too different from the morning practice I did in the archery club. The only difference is that if I'm training lightly or heavily.
おはようございます先輩。今朝はもう済んでしまいましたか？
ねえ、朝食の支度なら済んでる。あとは食器の支度と魚に火を通すだけ。
それならお手伝いします。食器の支度は任せてください。
Sakura is cheerful, and behind that admirable junior,
この匂いはシロウの卵焼きね。そっか、今朝はシロウの朝ごはんなんだ。
Fujine moves slowly to the table.
まあ、あれは放っておいて。
First, I have to cook the fish I prepared.
さくら、皿は真ん中のやつ使ってくれ。その方がうまく見えるから。
この表面がブツブツのですか？
そう、それ。焼き物は皿にも気を配らないと手抜かりになるからな。で、大根はもう吸ってあるから。
Sakura takes out a dish from the back. I think I saw a faint bruise on her wrist when she leaned forward.
さくら、ちょっと待った。
はい、何ですか先輩？
その手首のあざ、なんだ？
She looks away awkwardly, and that tells me who caused that bruise.
またシンジか。あいつ、妹に手をあげるなんて何考えてやがる。
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with them?
違います先輩。これは転んでぶつけちゃったんです。ほら、私鈍いでしょ？だからよく転んで怪我ばっかりしてるんです。
バカ、転んだぐらいでそんなあざがつくか。シンジのやつ、どうやらまだ殴られ足りないみたいだな。
ダメです先輩。これ本当に兄さんは関係ないんです。私が一人で怪我をしただけなんですから、先輩に怒ってもらう資格なんてありません。
Sakura falls silent. Sakura looks calm, but she's pretty obstinate. It's useless to say anything to her now.
わかった。さくらがそう言うんならそういうことにしておく。
はい。ごめんなさい、先輩。
だからどうしてそこでさくらが謝るんだ。悪いのはシンジだろう。
At the mention of Shinji's name, Sakura looks away awkwardly. In other words, he's the cause of that bruise. Mato Shinji has a bad habit of being hard on his sister, Sakura. I first noticed it about a year ago. Sakura was injured sometimes and she just evaded my question when I asked about it. When I asked Shinji about it, of all things, he said he was the one who hit Sakura. When I asked him why he hit her, he said that he just hit her because he felt like it. Oh, hell no. After that, I got pissed and did to Shinji what he did to Sakura. Since then, we've been estranged. I still don't regret punching him. But I think it's my fault that Sakura is being treated worse.
先輩、兄さんとは仲直りしてくれましたか？
もうしたよ。別に初めから喧嘩なんてしてないから仲直りも何もないけどな。
先輩にとってはそうでしょうけど、兄さんにとっては喧嘩をしたことになるんです。だから気をつけてください。
Sakura says strange things sometimes.
気をつけろってシンジを？
はい、兄さん先輩を目の敵にしてるって聞きました。 その先輩が退部するようになったのも兄さんのせいだって。
それは違う。部活を辞めたのはシンジとは関係ない。いや、そりゃ多少はあったかもしれないけど、そんなのはさくらが気に病むことじゃないぞ。確かにシンジの言う通りちょっと見苦しいからな、これは。
I pointed my right shoulder. There's a scar there. It happened a year and a half ago. A shipment collapsed on me during work and I hurt my right shoulder. I got away with just a broken bone, but the shipment was a hazardous one and I got burned on my skin. And after that incident, I quit the archery club. My school archery club emphasizes formalities. They let us shoot formally, even as students. The men expose their right shoulder when they shoot. Shinji commented that it might be indecent for someone shooting formally to have a scar on their shoulder. Since I was getting busy with work, I quit the archery club right then.
先輩、しつこいようですけど、本当にもう弓は引かないんですか？藤村先生も怪我なんて支障はないって言ってるのに。
何を平和な。藤姉は全身骨折しようが支障ないっていうやつだぞ、さくら。
先輩、私真面目な話をしているんです。
I should answer seriously too, but I can't give her the answer she wants.
当分は部活をしている余裕はないよ。弓は好きだけど優先するべきことじゃないし、しばらくは間を取ろうと思
う。しばらくってどのくらいですか？
気が向いた頃かな。まあさくらが卒業するぐらいまでにはなんとか。その時はよろしくな、さくら。
I pat Sakura's shoulder.
はい、私その時をお待ちしています。
And she nods so powerfully that it seems she might drop the plate she's holding. It's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujine have already left for their morning club practice. I went to school early yesterday because Issei wanted me to, but I leave my house at the usual time today. I run into an unusual scene when I reach the intersection. Several police cars are parked outside the house. Something must have happened as it is noisy and lots of people are surrounding the area. I'm curious, but I cannot tell what's going on with all the people surrounding it. I have no time, so I should prioritize school. I reach school 10 minutes before the bell. I enter the main gate as usual.
Yeah, おはよう、エミヤ。
I bump into a familiar female student.
なんだ、まだ着替えてないのか、三辻。もうすぐホームルームだぞ。俺に挨拶なんかしてる場合じゃないだろ
う。いや、ごもっとも。相変わらず釣れない野郎だね、エミヤは。
She laughs as if something is really funny. Mitsuri Ayako. She was my classmate in the first year, and she's now the captain of the archery club. She's very insightful, and everyone expected her to become captain since the first year. Well, in other words, her mental age is older than her real age, so she's been the older sister type everyone counts on since she was the first year. Though she gets mad when people say that. According to her, she's not that old.
ああ、今あんた、よからぬ感想を漏らさなかったかもし。
そんなものは漏らさない。あくまで客観的な事実を連想しただけだ。それで気を悪くするのは三辻の勝手だが。
お、言うじゃん。いいね。正直に答えるくせに何をどう考えてたかは口にしないんだもの。エミヤ、シンジと違って隙がないな。
シンジ？なんでそこにシンジが出てくるんだ？
なんでも何も、あんたとシンジって友人じゃない。 シンジの男友達ってあんただけでしょ。それにお忘れでしょうが、私これでも弓道部の主将なの。うちの問題児と辞めちまった問題児をくっつけるのは自然な流れだと思わない？